Hi, Arcfieldweather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Monday morning, October the 16th. Still an active weather pattern for much of the eastern part of the nation. Looks like a pretty significant storm system will take aim at the Mid-Atlantic region, the northeast U.S. late in this week and into the upcoming weekend. By the time we get to late Saturday night or early Sunday morning, there could be a very strong storm system centered over the northern part of New England. It will have a wide wind field that will be very strong indeed all the way throughout New England, the northeast U.S., and down into the mid-Atlantic region. It looks like for the second half of the upcoming weekend, maybe into the early part of next week. We'll focus on that potential storm system over the next few minutes here. This is the forecast map from the 0Z run of the GFS, the conventional version of the GFS, of total precipitation amounts over the next 7 days between this morning, Monday morning, and next Monday. And here is that area in the northeastern quadrant of the nation that could receive some significant rainfall during the upcoming weekend into the early part of next week. Also, pretty strong storm system moving into the southwestern part of Canada, and that will impact especially the western areas of Washington and Oregon. But again, a big-time storm system. Looks like it'll be somewhere centered over northern New England by the time we get to Saturday night, Sunday morning. Let's kind of walk through the 500 millibar height anomaly forecast maps using the 0Z run of the GFS. And we start off the week here with a very strong upper level trough over the eastern U.S. We had clear skies this morning near Philadelphia, much of the Mid-Atlantic region, but that clear sky will give way to some cumulus clouds building by mid-late morning, and maybe some afternoon isolated showers throughout the Mid-Atlantic region with this instability in the atmosphere. Again, very cool air aloft, and all it takes a little bit of daytime heating to produce some of those rain-producing type cumulus clouds. So expect some scattered showers later this afternoon into the early part of the evening throughout much of the Mid-Atlantic region and even the northeast U.S. Again, given that deep upper-level trough that's hanging back over the eastern states. Now, let's move forward here, and we'll kind of jump ahead through the week. Things calm down in the Mid-Atlantic region, the northeast U.S. by the middle of the week. But here comes the next trough system. This is the forecast map for midday on Wednesday, midweek here, and a continuation of a kind of a blocking type, an omega type upper level pattern here with a ridge out in the far west, a deepening trough over the central states, another ridge over the Great Lakes, and yet another trough. There's a very blocky kind of a weather pattern here that really has been a continuation of the trend set during the summer season here, and it very well could go through the fall and into the winter season here. Now, let's move forward here. This dives to the south and east and starts to take on a negatively tilted trough axis. And here we go. By the time we get to Friday morning, a deepening upper level trough over the Ohio Valley. And it's a little bit too soon to say the exact sequence of events here. That very well could be kind of a front-running system impact in the Mid-Atlantic, northeast U.S. as early as Friday with some rainfall. But then basically after that, there will be a further development of a surface low pressure, so that by the time we get to Sunday morning, could be a powerful storm system sitting over northern New England. Here we go into the upcoming week, and this is now Saturday morning. And again, we talk about a negatively tilted trough axis, something like that associated with that upper level trough axis extends from northwest to southeast. That really promotes upper motion on its eastern side here, and that would take place right here over the upcoming weekend, right over New England. And again, that is where we could end up with a very strong storm system. This is now Saturday night, and finally by Sunday morning, a powerful upper level system sitting over northern New England, southeastern part of Canada. There's a kind of a secondary upper level low feature over the Mid-Atlantic region. Very unsettled conditions, and we'll see in a moment it will lead to a very strong wind field at the ground level. Very strong northwest winds, for example, throughout New England, probably the Mid-Atlantic region as well for the second half of the upcoming weekend. We'll go a little bit farther in time, and here we go all the way out to next Monday morning. Not all that much difference between this morning and next Monday morning, with a lot of troughiness hanging along the eastern states, focused over New England. Well, let's take a look at the surface forecast maps from the 0Z run of the GFS. And again, a lot of instability this morning, Monday morning, October 16th, with that cold air in the upper part of the atmosphere, a trough sitting aloft over the Mid-Atlantic region, over the northeast U.S. Not an all-day rain, but certainly those cumulus clouds can build up to the point by late morning, places like D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, where it's produced, where those clouds are producing some scattered showers. Certainly the threat of showers will probably reach a peak mid and late afternoon hours. Again, not everyone will see showers, but certainly a shower can pop up at just about any time later today into early tonight. Chilly overall weather pattern as well. Overnight tonight, the threat of showers will diminish. The daytime heating impact diminishes overnight, so the showers will dissipate. And then we go into the day on Tuesday. Not quite as unsettled tomorrow afternoon in the Mid-Atlantic, in the northeast U.S. Certainly still can be an isolated shower, but not quite as numerous as what I expect to see this afternoon into early tonight. Then we quickly move forward through the midweek, which should be a pretty nice period in the eastern states. But then here we go, by Friday morning, we have that upper level trough, that's a deepening upper level trough, rain starting to break out throughout the Ohio Valley. Notice an area of moisture starting to work up along the Atlantic seaboard. Indeed, it could turn out to be a decent rainy kind of a day on Friday, especially Friday afternoon, evening in the Mid-Atlantic region, with the development of this surface low along the east coast. And then we go into the early part of the upcoming weekend. Notice the millibar pattern, millibar of 995 here, associated with that low pressure area over the northeast U.S. come Saturday morning. But watch what happens as some of that energy rotates around that large scale upper level trough. This system starts to really intensify by the time we get to late Saturday night, Sunday morning. Just a very, very powerful storm system, cold enough to produce accumulating snow across southeastern Canada, and it could even have some snowflakes mixing in over New England by the time we get to the second half of the upcoming weekend. But take note of this isobar pattern. It's a very tight pressure gradient field that will lead to some strong wind gusts, most likely out of the northwest by the time we get to Sunday morning throughout New England, and even the Mid-Atlantic region will go out a little farther in time. And look at a 965 low here come midday on Sunday, with a lot of accumulating snow in southeastern Canada. Few flakes may work their way into upstate New York, New England by late Sunday night time frame. And again, very tight pressure gradient field will lead to strong winds. Here we go all the way out to late Sunday night into Monday morning. This is a week from right now. Next Monday morning, still tight pressure gradient pattern, strong northwest winds throughout New England. Sunday night, Monday morning time frame, that powerful storm system at the surface starts to move out to the north and east by this time. But again, what will remain will be strong winds throughout New England. And that's a chilly air mass as well. Continuing the pattern, we had several above normal days in the first week of October. D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, Boston. But as we mentioned at the time, it looked like pretty much the remainder of the month of October looks, on average, colder than normal, and will whittle away at those above normal readings. Indeed, we have Philadelphia, for example, after the first 5 or 6 days of October, was at least 7 or 8 degrees above normal. That's been cut in half already and will continue to whittle away. Don't be surprised if by the time we get to the end of October, we're in negative territory, a colder than normal month in much of the Mid-Atlantic region. Now, this is a GFS we just looked at here. Just wanted to wrap up with a look at the European model. This is for Sunday morning, and just wanted to point out that indeed the European model has a very strong storm system of 971 millibars located over eastern Maine come Sunday morning. So there's an agreement here that we'll have a significant storm system over northern New England by the time we get to Saturday night and Sunday morning. A very active weather pattern continues for the northeastern quadrant of the nation. That's it for now. For ArcfieldWeather.com, this has been meteorologist Paul Dorian.